Hi everybody, welcome to another week of Makers Monday. I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Estampa Blondie, and I'm really excited to bring you some really cool projects this week as I feature the Ice Cream Swirl bundle from the January to April mini catalog. Now let me just make sure that I'm live here on Facebook. If you're watching, make sure to comment, say hi, let me know where you're joining me from. It's always fun to see where everybody is watching from each week. If you're watching over on my YouTube channel, so I'm live over on YouTube as well, make sure to comment, say hi there as well. And yeah, it's great to see where everybody's joining me from each week. All right. Looks like I am live over on Facebook and YouTube, so we are good to go. I hope everybody had an amazing weekend. It was so beautiful here in Tucson. Just to be able to spend some time outside and relax a little bit. I actually didn't have anything planned this weekend. I found out that I am incredibly good at axe throwing. My husband and I went on a date night, Saturday night. We went to Dave & Buster's and they have this fun like axe throwing arcade game. I got 3 bullseyes in a row. Who knew? I guess I'm multi-talented with paper crafting and also axe throwing. Who knew that was a hidden talent of mine? So I hope you all had an amazing weekend and were able to spend some time wherever you were with family or loved ones. All right, I have a couple of quick things just to go over before we start into our projects. Hi Mom, thanks for watching. Hi Veronica, hi Kay. I hope you guys had a great weekend as well. So let's go ahead and swap the camera and let me just grab a couple of things right here before I swap it, just because I want to go over these with you guys before I swap. Okay, now I'm ready. Let's swap. Oh, if I hit the right button. There we go. I always can't remember what button it is. All right, so the first thing I wanted to share is our 2023-2024 annual catalog is winding down. So this annual catalog will end April 30th. Is it April? Somewhere April, May, like right in that May time frame, right beginning April or end of April, beginning of May. Well, at the end of every catalog, we have retiring in colors. So our in colors are colors that we have that kind of fill in the gaps of our 4 color families. We have bright, subtles, regals, and neutrals. So each year Stampin' Up! Releases 5 new in colors and they're around for 2 years. So this year we're going to be saying goodbye to the 2022-2024 in colors. Now, why, you may be asking, why am I sharing this information with you now? Because it's beginning of March and they won't retire until say end of April. And I'm telling you this now is because once these items get put out on the retirement list, which will be coming out next week, these are the items that tend to go first. Your re-inkers, especially if you don't have re-inkers for your ink pads for these specific colors, you're gonna want to grab those now because they are the first things that sell out. So ink refills, Stampin' Write markers, cardstock, any type of ribbon or embellishments for these 5 colors are the things that are going to be for sure retiring at the end of this annual catalog. Now, I am very sad to see these 5 colors go. So we have Sweet Sorbet, Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, Orchid Oasis, and Starry Sky. So these 5 colors will be retiring at the end of our annual catalog. Now, I'm very sad to see these colors go, especially Sweet Sorbet and Tahitian Tide. I really like these bright colors. Parakeet Party kind of reminds me a lot of Lemon Lime Twist, so I'm okay with that one going. But these 5 colors will be retiring, so that's why I'm mentioning this now, because if you don't have ink pad refills for these specific ink pads, or you do want to get the ink pads, any kind of product that has these colors, now is the time to grab them. So just my little PSA about in colors. I know they always tend to go quickly when the retirement list debuts. Sometimes some of these items, depending on stock for Stampin' Up, they may be discounted when the retirement list comes out. My suggestion, I would not wait until then because they may sell out before the list is even posted, and Stampin' Up will refill an order for them because they are leaving. So 5 colors that are leaving us at the end of April, beginning of May. Just wanted to provide that heads up. But the good news is our Stampin' Up! Annual catalog. The next one starts beginning of May, and we will have 5 new in colors that will debut. And I'm so excited because next week I'll be attending Stampin' Up! On Stage conference. This is a convention for demonstrators only, and it's held in Houston. And I am excited because they are going to be releasing the 5 new in colors at that event. So very excited to see these. It's always a fun guessing game trying to figure out like what kind of colors are they gonna debut that like fit in between our color families that may be missing some colors. So I always love those bright bold colors, so I'm rooting for those. So oh, I already see the re-inker for Sweet Sorbet is not available. Okay, I'll have to go online to see if Stampin' Up! Has a reorder date on that. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but I'll go check on that after I'm done here today. All right, next up I have, last week I announced my Latte Love March Club Craft and Create. So here is the stamp set. So Club Craft and Create is a it is a class that includes, if you are here in Tucson, an in-person event. If you are not here in Tucson, it includes a PDF tutorial with a video on how to put the projects together. The Latte Love Suite is what I'm featuring for March. So here is the flyer for that. The deadline to register for this is coming up this week, March 8th, which I think is Friday. Yes? 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Yes, Friday. Friday is the deadline to register for Club Craft and Create. So I love this suite. So here are the projects that we're going to be making. This is a fun gift card holder. I'm going to keep that one a surprise on the inside so that those attending the class get to see that. And then here's our other project as well. So you'll create 8 cards, 2 of each of the designs that I showed here, featuring the Latte Love. Now this suite isn't even available yet. It's not going to be debuting until tomorrow. So it is brand new, absolutely hasn't even been released yet by Stampin' Up! The link to register or learn more about Club Craft and Create is in the description of this video, so you can always check that out to see more about what Club Craft and Create offers. But the deadline is coming up on Friday, so don't miss out. I absolutely have to have all registrations by Friday because it is a very short week next week because of my trip, so I've got to pump out those projects as soon as I can. All right, Prize Patrol. So if you are new, each week I do something called Prize Patrol, where all you have to do is share this video, comment that you shared, and you're entered into Prize Patrol. It's that easy. Make sure that you comment you shared, because sometimes your Facebook security settings don't always allow me to know that you have shared, so make sure you comment shared. Last week, our Prize Patrol was the Take Your Pick tool, which is this tool right here. I use it on just about every project that I create. So our winner from last week is Jill Cooper. So congratulations, Jill. Thank you for sharing my video. All you have to do is share, and then you're entered into Prize Patrol. So Jill, thank you for sharing my video. You are this week's Prize Patrol winner. Now, this week it's kind of a 3-in-1 prize. I've had the song, These Are a Few of My Favorite Things stuck in my head like for a while, and I wanted to share with you some of my favorite embellishments. So these are a few of my favorite things. We have the classic matte dots. These are the adhesive backed sparkle gems and the neutrals sequins. So a great embellishment pack for whatever projects you're working on. These go great with birthday cards, congratulations cards, any kind of project that you're working on, both feminine and masculine. So these are a few of my favorite things, and these can be your favorite things too. All you have to do is share this video and you'll be entered into Prize Patrol. All right, let's jump into our projects this week. I am featuring the Ice Cream Swirl bundle. This is from our January to April mini catalog, and it is a bundle, so there are coordinating dies to go with it. This was one of my favorite things that I saw. Again, favorite things. When the catalog debuted, as a demonstrator, we can pre-order from it a month ahead of time. And this was in my pre-order because of one specific thing. If you can guess what it is, comment below. Let me know what you think this one specific thing is, but we'll come back to it. So the Ice Cream Swirl bundle, again, sentiments and images, two things I love that are in one set together. But I really like the ice cream cone, this big ice cream that you can also make into like a cupcake topper. But the one thing that caught my eye about this bundle, and I had to order it, is this one specific die. And that is because I'm going to show you how to use this. You may be saying, like, why would I want a two-sided ice cream cone? And that is because you can create a fun project like this. So it is a one long die, and it scores it right in the middle for you, so the cone can fold straight into a card. So I'm going to show you how to make this one here and how we're going to do this fun fold. It's a kind of a fancy fold, but it is this die that creates a fun card. Now the best part is it kind of will be hard to see because you're from above, but it'll stand up as well. So if you are having any kind of like birthday party, these are great like place cards that you can create into name cards for those that are coming. So very fun. Now you could just place this into an envelope and mail it just like this as well. So I'll show you how to create that project. Now, yesterday on my website, I showed you this project, and look at that fun shimmer. This is from the 3-color glimmer pack. This is an online exclusive glimmer paper. It comes in Highland Heather, Petal Pink, and Pretty Peacock. And the best part about it is that the glitter does not come off. So if you know, I have no loose glitter in my craft room. So that is the best part about this. So this is the project that I shared yesterday. Now we're gonna create today this fun card. So we have the long die here to show you that, how to use this die. Now this is just the stamp and the regular die, how you can use this just as a regular die as well. So we're gonna create this one. And then I wanted to create a project that doesn't focus on so much the ice cream part of it. I mean, the ice cream is definitely a big part of the stamp set. Of course, it's called Ice Cream Swirl, but there's a lot of other things in this card that you can create that aren't ice cream themed. So we're gonna create, when I photograph my photos, I have these little sticky things in here to keep them closed. So let me pull them off so that you guys can see how this card comes apart. So, oh, get off my finger. There we go. So this is a card that says, "Hope your day is sweet," featuring the strawberries from the stamp set. And this is another fun fold Z card. So I'll show you how to create that super easy. You don't have to have any kind of special skill set to be able to create those. Now, if you're wanting these 3 projects, so we have the 2 cards and the ice cream cone, don't forget, if you want these 3 cards, you can place an order on my website, $35, using the host code that's on the screen, and I will send you this week's class to go. It is all ready to go. All you need is the Ice Cream Swirl bundle to be able to put the cards together. If you place an order of $50 or more, I will throw in a package of the rainbow dots. These are the embellishments that I'll be featuring on this week's projects as well. So those will be free if you place an order of $50 or more on my website as shown. Now don't forget, each week On my website, stampandblondie.com, I have a free project PDF tutorial. This tells you all of the measurements and products for all 3 projects that I use. Don't forget there's that back side. And nothing is highlighted on here this week because Celebration is over and I'm not using any brand new products that are debuting just yet. So no highlights this week, but Stampin' Blondie, and you can pull that right off and print it off and follow along with this video and create your own Makers Monday projects. All right, let's start. We are going to work on our strawberry card first. So let's get some of this other stuff out of the way here. Now the strawberry card does have a part of the card that is not in that stamp set. I did use the Heartfelt Hexagon stamp set and punch. The punch is currently on not available, but you can still hand cut this out. But I'm just going to use this border for the sentiment here. So in our card kit, let's grab that one. We have a piece of Calypso Coral cardstock and a piece, this is from the Delightfully Eclectic Designer Series paper. It has these fun little strawberries, so that's why I wanted to pair it with the strawberries from the stamp set. Kind of a cross of Designer Series paper. This Ice Cream Swirl stamp set doesn't have any coordinating Designer Series paper to go with it, so I just wanted to create our own kind of mix and mash of projects. All right, so Calypso Coral cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So we're just gonna use our bone folder here to crisp up that line. Now we're gonna do that fun Z fold here. Now all I did is I didn't wanna grab my paper trimmer out or my score board, so I already pre-scored it. But it's at, so this is for, let me just get my, I've got my handy dandy, there we go, so I tell you the right measurements. 4 1/4 is the size of our card front here. So we score, because we're just going to score it right down the middle at 2 1/8, and then we're going to back fold that, and that's how you get that fun Z fold. Very easy to create. So it's just a regular size card, and then you add that extra score line right there, and then you have something fun and different. Very easy to do. You don't have to have, like I said, you don't have to have any special skills for that. All right, we are gonna have a piece of basic white cardstock. Let's get some of this other stuff out of the way. Basic white, and we're gonna stamp our strawberry. I'm gonna color it in with Stampin' Blends. So we're gonna use our Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And because this is Calypso Coral, we don't have any, we have Stampin' Blends that are Calypso Coral, but to color a strawberry in Calypso Coral, it was more of like a weird peach tone. So this Designer Series paper has strawberries that are colored Bubble Bath. So we're gonna use our Bubble Bath Stampin' Blends to color in our strawberry. And then we don't have Garden Green Stampin' Blends, which is very strange to me. So I'm just gonna be using Old Olive. It'll do the job. It doesn't look that much of a different green color. All right, so we have our strawberry, and we're gonna stamp that in the lower right corner here. And then we're also gonna stamp it. I have just a spare piece of basic white, and we're gonna stamp another strawberry onto that because we're just gonna hand cut that out. There is a die to go along with the strawberry. Actually, we'll use the die. Yeah, we'll use the die today. All right, get that out of the way. And because we are gonna be coloring with Stampin' Blends, I just wanna make sure my workspace is covered. Just a scratch piece of Highland Heather cardstock. So we're gonna use our light Bubble Bath marker first to color this in. You can see it's very simple, easy to color it in. And then I'm gonna use the dark Old Olive Stampin' Blends to color in the leaves here. So we're not gonna do any shadowing and contouring on the leaves just because it is such a tiny space there. You don't really need to do that. But on the strawberry, we are gonna use dark Bubble Bath and come in and do some shadowing on our strawberry. So you can see the difference here. So there's with the dark on the bottom, without on the top. Very simple to create that shadow. All I just did is added kind of like a hook of that dark on there, and then it gives it a little bit of something extra. All right. Now, like I said, we're gonna die cut this. So let's get out our dies. So here's the strawberry dies I showed you, or the ice cream dies. I showed you the big die there, but we're gonna add the strawberry here. The best part about this die set is that it fits through the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, so you don't even have to get the big machine out. So we're gonna run this through and die cut our strawberry. So here. Hi Peggy, yes, great cards for spring and summer. Kathy, you like everything with glitter. I love glitter, but my husband's military uniform doesn't like glitter, so I don't have any loose glitter in my craft room. Just like Wink of Stella glitter brush, or that glimmer paper, which doesn't shed everywhere. All right, so we have our strawberry that's die cut, and then we're gonna add our piece of basic white cardstock. This is gonna go in the middle, or the inside of our card, right in the middle. Get that out of the way. And here we go. Now we have a piece of garden green cardstock. Garden green is the color from this designer series paper. And I'm just going to mat the designer series paper onto the cardstock. I tested this right before I went live to make sure that that glue works. So hopefully that was enough. And then right in the middle of that, and this is gonna go on the front of our card. There we go. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna stamp our sentiment. I just, again, spare piece of white cardstock. You could tell I was making some balloon projects with this one. And we're gonna use garden green ink and Calypso coral. Our sentiment is gonna say, hope your day is sweet. And then where is that other stamp set? Heartfelt hexagon right here. There we go. So the outside's gonna be garden green and stamp. And then the inside is gonna be Calypso coral. Hi, Kathy Robinson. I hope you had a good day at school today. Here we go. Now we're gonna use our heartfelt hexagon punch to punch out that. But like I said, that punch is currently not available, so you can always fussy cut that out by hand as well if you don't have the punch. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna add a little bit of glue to the back of our sentiment. We don't wanna add glue to the entire back of it. If we do, we're gonna glue our card shut. So we're just gonna add glue on the back side where it says like hope and sweet. And then we're gonna add this to our card base. Our strawberry is gonna go on with a Stampin' Dimensional. And we're gonna use these little edge pieces here. Then we're gonna add some of my favorite ribbon. It's twine, but I love this because you get a lot of it and it's $5. It's very cheap and you get a ton of this thread. So we're going to double it up. I saw that. I think it is due back on the 22nd of this month, so not too far away. So hopefully it'll be back then. It's a great punch. I like it because it's not your typical square. It's not your typical like circle. It's just different. That's what I like about it. All right, and pull that, and then we can pull that tight. I'm gonna trim all 4 edges at the same time, and we're gonna add this on with a glue dot. I like to use glue dots with this trim because if you try to use liquid glue with it, you're gonna, no matter how sparse you are, it's gonna ooze everywhere. So with a glue dot, you don't have to wait for anything to dry. And then the final bit, we're gonna come in with our rainbow dots, and I'm gonna put 2 of the large size Calypso coral ones in the upper right corner here. And this will be our first card today featuring the Ice Cream Swirl stamp set. So just something different that's not ice cream focused. You still have the sentiment, hope your day is sweet. You have the strawberries, but it's not so ice cream heavy. So definitely a fun project with that Z fold there. And I really hope you guys like this first project here today. All right, let's move on to our second card, kind of clear some of this out of the way. And our second project, we're gonna make, if I can find it. See, I get started and now I don't know where anything is. Where did it go? Here it is. Our second project is this one right here. So this definitely features that big ice cream cone right on the front there. So we are gonna use Azure Afternoon cardstock. This is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And my bone folder is here. All right, if a person not in the military could use glitter or sparkles, the strawberries would have been cute sparkled. Yes, so we do have a Wink of Stella glitter brush, which I could have put on there, but the Wink of Stella has been, it's been out of stock for a while. The company that makes Wink of Stella has been having a hard time procuring the supplies to make whatever like the gel is on the inside. I don't whatever the Wink of Stella is made with. So they've been having a hard time trying to, you know, fulfill orders for that. So Stampin' Up! Has been out of it for a while. I know like my local Michael's hasn't had it in a while too. So it's definitely been missed, or I would have used it on the project. I don't try to use things that you guys can't get, but of course, you know, I use that punch. So all right, so I have a piece of basic white cardstock I put behind. This is from the Lighter Than Air Designer Series paper. This is from the Hot Air Balloon bundle, which actually coordinates. This is where these rainbow dots are from, the Hot Air Balloon Suite. So this Designer Series paper, just because it has hot air balloons in it, doesn't mean it doesn't have very fun other patterns. So that's what this is from. And we're just gonna adhere this right down the middle of our card base. And there we go. And again, the measurements for that are on that PDF tutorial, so you don't have to write anything down, so it's all on there. And we used our liquid glue to make sure it's right where we want it. We're gonna put this off to the side because we're gonna be doing some die cutting now. So I have a piece of crumb cake cardstock. This is just, as you can see, a scrap piece of crumb cake, and we're gonna bring in that long die, and I'm going to cut a piece of cardstock from that. So I didn't pre-cut it, just wanted to show that you can use bigger pieces, but because this is going in my mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, I definitely needed to trim this down to be able to fit in there. All right, so we are going to, let's see, how do we want to do this? Do we want to stamp first or die cut first? We are going to what do you want to do? We're going to die cut it first. So we're going to run this through the machine. I'm trying to remember what I did when I made the project. I made a bunch of these different ice cream cards yesterday, and I was trying to figure out like a variety of using these in a different way. So I'm like trying to figure out, did I stamp first? Did I die cut? Normally we stamp, then die cut, but we're going to die cut, then stamp, because this is kind of a different die. So here's that long die. Already has score lines in it. So when I make the next project, that's our card base right there. Very simple. So let's get that out of the way. For our ice cream cone, we're going to use pecan, however you say it, pie ink. and the big ice cream stamp. So we're gonna stamp that on here first. Now this takes, I think this is block E. Yep, block E is what you need for this big stamp. And we're gonna stamp it right in the middle. Good thing this is photopolymer, so I can see exactly where I'm stamping. There we go. So there's our ice cream cone. Now you may be wondering, what do I do? Because my ice cream is still in that large piece. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna trim it off. So technically you could make 2 cards out of this one die cut. There is your ice cream cone. Same thing on the other side. So like I said, you can make 2 times the cards with that one swipe through your embossing machine. All right, we're also gonna emboss the top of our ice cream here. So we have basic white cardstock, and this is 2 different dies. So you can see we've got the outside of the ice cream cone, and then we have this fun like swirl pattern. That's how you get the various colors. Oh, I dropped a card, just a second. There we go. That's next project, we need that. From yesterday, you can see the swirl and then the glitter paper in the back. So it's 2 different dies here. But because we're doing both white, we need to run them at the same time separately. So we're gonna do these 2. Let me make sure this piece of white is gonna fit through the machine. May have to trim it down a little bit. There we go. This is just, like I said, scrap paper. We all have those little pieces that you need to use up. So this is a great project for that. So we've got our machine, our plates, and they're just gonna get run at the same time, side by side. So we've got the big outside piece, our inside detailed piece, and run it through. Crunching and cracking, that's perfectly fine. Just cutting the paper. And now we're going to glue these together. So they look like kind of hard dies, but they're very simple to glue together. All these little pieces just punch right out. And then you could do your ice cream swirls in a variety of types of ice cream, you know, chocolate and vanilla. You could do very fun, different patterns here. Okay, we're gonna glue our swirl to our ice cream base. So just a little bit of liquid glue on the bigger patterns here, and it fits right on top there. Now what I like to do is I like to take one of my clear blocks and just kind of put that there just to make sure it glues all together. And while that's doing that, we can kind of move ahead on our project. I have a little piece. This is a Flirty Flamingo cardstock. Now that coordinates with our designer series paper. That's how I got this color here. And the sentiment says, yum yum. And we're gonna stamp that in our tuxedo black ink. Right there. I was trying to figure out what color I wanted to do for the sentiment. And I was like, well, I could do pink, I could do azure, but I really just black. Black goes with everything. All right, this piece, our ice cream here, we're gonna add a little bit of glue to the top of our ice cream cone. And then we're gonna glue the ice cream to the top. All right, flip that over. And that's where we're gonna add our Stampin' Dimensionals. So using all these little pieces of dimensionals here to peel these all off and use these for your project. Don't throw the outside of your dimensionals away. These are still great, even if they're not your traditional sized dimensionals. Hi, Melissa. I hope you had a great day. We're only on card 2, so you're still good. You've got plenty of time to watch. All right, flip that over, bring in our card base, make sure we've got our card going the right way. I'm gonna angle the ice cream cone here. We're gonna add our sentiment. Now this is where these little strips from the edges of your dimensionals come in handy. So you have these kind of like weird, these are the weird ones. I call these the straight edge ones. But these straight edge ones are perfect because this piece, we don't want to add dimensionals to both sides of the back, because if you do, then it's going to be uneven because that's already popped up. So we're just going to add dimensionals on half of it, and the other half is going to have liquid glue so that when you add it on, it's all flush with each other. So this is then going to go to the side of our ice cream cone. We're going to add some more of that thread. Again, this thread is the best. 2 strings of it to tie together, and this will give you a full look. Now there was some twine that coordinates with this designer series paper, but it is lemon lolly and I think balmy blue and flirty flamingo, maybe? I can't remember off the top of my head, but it didn't really go with the card. So I just used the twine again because it goes with everything. And we're gonna tie this into a bow. Takes a little bit of work when you're doing it with 2 strands. And then you can pull the edges when you have it where you want it, and tighten it up. And then all 4 tails cut at the same time, so those are even with each other. Once again, we're going to come in with our mini glue dots to add this onto our project, and that's just going to go kind of over here. Now I know ice cream cones don't get ribbons in real life, but it's fun to add it to a card. All right, our final touch, we're going to add in 3 of the large this is Highland Heather or Fresh Freesia, this purple color dots. We're going to add 2 up here on the right side and 1 down here. And there is our second card today featuring the Ice Cream Swirl bundle. Very fun project to put together and bright and summery. I love summer. So there's our second card today. Hope you guys like that one. Melissa, I made a ton of thank you cards today for those who sent meals, etc. during my treatments. I used up all of my edge pieces. Perfect. You can't forget those edge pieces. I think they're the best dimensionals. I love that they're those long ones. They're the best. So I'm glad you used all your edge pieces, and I'm glad you were able to make some projects as well today. All right, our last card is the fun one. So Melissa, you came just in time. This is our little foldable ice cream treat card. And we're going to bring back in that crumb cake so that I can trim that down again so we can stamp this one and do some die cutting on here. Now the last project I showed you the stamp that coordinates with this die. Now there's another one right here. This one actually, it doesn't cut the paper all the way through. It kind of gives it these little perforations in the card. So I'm going to show you how to do that too. And it is with this die. So this is what it looks like. You can see all the way through. It doesn't cut. So it's just going to give you the cone look. And we're going to die cut this all at the same time. So we have our piece of crumb cake here. Now this can go right in the middle here, and you definitely want to use washi tape if you're doing both of the dies at the same time. This will hold it in place as you run it through the machine, because you definitely want that second die to stay exactly where you have it. So we've got our mini machine and our plates, and we're going to run this through all at the same time so that it will cut and emboss our thing. Now it's a little thicker, so I'm going to try to, there we go, push it in, and it's going to make those crunching noises. That's okay. There we go. we've got our, you just want to peel this off carefully, so you don't want to peel it too much and then rip your paper. And so now we have the bottom of our card is all embossed. The back of our card is not. And see, it didn't cut all the way through. So just a fun little project. Now you can do this with, just like our last card, we kind of cut that apart. But we're gonna turn this into that folded card. So I mentioned earlier, this is already pre-scored. So all you have to do is fold it in half, and then you have your little card base here. So we're gonna use our bone folder to crisp up our line, and now we have our fun card base. So very fun there for that. Okay, we are going to step that up just a little bit more. You can see the color differentiation here from our project to our sample. Now I just need to grab one of my, there we go, scrap paper. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take the pecan, however you want to say it, pie ink pad and a blending brush, and we're gonna make this cone kind of come to life. Now with the crumb cake cardstock by itself, it's kind of plain, it's kind of boring. So we want to step this up from plain vanilla ice cream, and we want to step it up to make it something fun, like cookies and cream. That's my favorite ice cream. So with our blending brush, we're just gonna take some of the ink, kind of tap it off on our grid paper here, and I'm just going to swirl my blending brush kind of around the edges, just to kind of bring that ice cream cone to life a little bit more than just some boring crumb cake cardstock. So just bringing it to life with our ink. Now see, I forgot to tap it. See how it's a lot darker there? It's okay. We're just gonna cover that up with some ice cream. Now in the middle, we don't want that heavy darkness, so we're just going to rub it over. I'm not gonna re-add any ink. So we're just gonna rub that there, and you can see how it just brought the cone kind of to life. So there's the front. Don't worry about that. We're gonna cover that up. So there's the front, there's the back. You can see the difference in the colors. Just a little fun extra step there. All right, move all of that off to the side. And now we're gonna stamp our topper. Again, another spare piece of basic white cardstock. And we're gonna stamp the top of our ice cream. We're gonna make it bubble bath with some melon mambo sprinkles. So let's see, we've got our bubble bath ice cream. So ink that all up and stamp it. Then we're gonna add some sprinkles on top. I love sprinkles on my ice cream, so we're gonna add some sprinkles. And I'm just going to ink this up. This is Melon Mambo, and I'm just gonna stamp randomly on our ice cream cone to bring this to life. There we go. There's our ice cream. So we're gonna die cut this. So I've showed you before how we die cut with the swirl to get that kind of 3D effect. This one, we're just going to die cut the outside of the ice cream. So we're not going to use this die. We're gonna use just the outside for this project. So line everything up. Again, you want to use washi tape because you didn't just do all that stamping for nothing, for your dies to move while you run it through the machine. So we have our ice cream, our plates, and run it through here. There we go. We're gonna peel that off carefully because we don't want our paper to rip from what we just stamped. So just carefully peel that off. And this is gonna get glued to the top of our ice cream cone. just like that last card. So we've got our 3D card here, a little bit of liquid glue at the top, and add your ice cream. All right, our sentiment says, hope your day is sweet, just like our first project. And I'm gonna use, again, scrap paper of Melon Mambo. So we're gonna stamp this in Melon Mambo tone on tone. So we've got Melon Mambo cardstock, Melon Mambo ink, and I'm just gonna use my paper trimmer to cut that up because I want that to be even. So I may go off camera just a minute, just cutting that sentiment there. All right, we're going to cut this into a flag. Now I learned this technique from one of my team members to do the perfect flag look. So we're gonna do the points on the end. So what you do is you take your scissors and you trim a little snip in the middle of your paper, and then from one corner to the middle of the snip, and then the second quarter to the middle of the snip, and then you will have a perfect flag each time. So we're gonna do the same thing on this side, and that helps ensure your angles are even on both sides. If you were to free eye cut this, there's no way you would get them even on both sides. So with this, you have a perfect flagged sentiment every time. Very easy. We're gonna add Stampin' Dimensionals to the middle of this. Get some of these pieces here, edge pieces, of course. We're gonna cut that and come right in here. That's gonna go at an angle, and then we're gonna add 2 of the Bubble Bath small embellishments on either side of our sentiment, right where those points are. And that is our third project today, featuring the Ice Cream Swirl bundle. This is my favorite project this week. I hope you guys like this one as well. Now, if you do